The SRA's just released some more news about the SQE. Stay tuned for more details, but only after the jingle.
If you wanna be solicitors, why don't you come and visit us at SQE TV?
So here's another edition of SQE News as at February 2025. There are three major areas which will be of interest to students coming out of the SRA's most recent SQE update. Firstly, there's news about further sample questions for SQE2. There's also news about publishing data about pass rates for SQE providers. And finally, they are opening a survey at the SRA to SQE students for you to share your experience. Let's look at these one by one.
SQE TV.
So here's some good news coming from the SRA about the SQE, and it's this. They have, with Kaplan, released more SQE2 sample materials, and in particular in relation to the SQE2 oral assessments. So you've got a video example of what an oral assessment might look like for dispute resolution advocacy, so testing the skill of advocacy in the context of a dispute resolution issue. You've also got an example of a video of an interview in a wills, probate and administration context, and a further example of an interview in the context of a property practice question. So excellent in terms of range of interviews and an example of advocacy, which will give you an idea of what the exam room looks like, how the student or candidate interacts with the examiner in each occasion, and also what's very helpful to support your development when you access these materials is that the SRA and Kaplan have provided some further information that the particular candidates on each of these videos didn't say, which perhaps had they said they would have got higher marks, so that if you manage to spot some of the things that they didn't, then you can go away with some encouragement that perhaps you did even better than they did in the videos. The candidates are clearly competent in the videos, but they're not perfect. And I think it's good to see examples of what competent looks like without being perfect. In fact, in one of the videos, the candidate was appearing very nervous indeed. Very good acting, I think, from the particular individual concerned there. So I hope you find that useful. It's just regrettable it's taken so long for these sample videos to emerge, and still very much regrettable that we don't have a full set of past papers for SQE1 and SQE2.
SQE TV.
So whilst it's good news in relation to the publication of further sample papers and answers to SQE2 oral assessments, less good news from the SRA in relation to publication of data about the performance of students who prepared at particular SQE providers and the courses they ran. So what obviously the SRA have been looking to do over many years, and of course the market has wanted to see, is how are students performing who do particular courses at particular providers, because if you see pass rates or even league tables, then that will give you some confidence that those providers are preparing students well if they're at the top of the table, but if they're at the bottom, perhaps the reverse. So what have the SRA said? They say, we're sorry we have not yet been able to publish data linking how candidates have prepared for their SQE assessments with how they performed. We had expected to publish some data in autumn 2024. Just pause there a second. They'd had expected to publish data long before that, but have deferred it on a number of occasions for, I think, the underlying reasons that have now emerged. What they said is, we found some unexpected problems with the quality of the data. These problems arose from the options given to candidates when they were surveyed. My understanding is that the drop-down list of options, which included the list of the courses that each provider was running, wasn't completely accurate, and indeed when the numbers were given to individual course providers, they didn't tally with the number of people on their courses or the number of people they thought had passed or failed. So there was a fundamental issue with how that data was collected. So when are the SRA actually going to publish? Well, they say, we've addressed the problems with the survey and remain committed to publishing such data as soon as we can. We expect to have sufficient data once we have the results from the SQE1 sitting to be taken in July 2025. So that probably means in practice, because the results won't come out into the autumn of 2025 for that assessment, by the time those figures, the data's gone probably to the SQE providers, I can't see the SRA publishing long before the end of 2025. That's for SQE 1. No idea about SQE 2, but there will be more updates from the SRA in due course.
SQE TV.
And the final thing coming out of the recent SQE update is that the SRA have asked for former candidates for the SQE who are now in training contracts or qualifying work experience to tell them about their journey through the SQE and also through qualifying work experience. They want to be able to share case studies on social media, videos, that sort of thing. And I think that'd be very helpful for future candidates. So if you're interested in taking part, please do click the link below, because I think it's very important that the SRA can learn from your experiences, both positive and negative. And I really do hope that this isn't just a PR exercise on behalf of the SRA to say everything's looking good with the SQE. I think these case studies need to show the positive experiences, of course they do, but they also need to showcase some of the problems and challenges that candidates have had and address some of the issues that we have covered on multiple videos on this channel.
SQE TV.
You'll find a link to the SRA's February 2025 update in the blurb below this video. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching SQE TV. As we always do, we always ask you to like and subscribe to our channel and do tap that notification bell, because as soon as you do, it will mean you get access to our videos as soon as they drop. And as we always do, when we finish an SQE TV video, we say it with me, it's now time for the jingle.
If you wanna be solicitors, why don't you come